Mennonites there building it.
Yeah.
They broke into
Let's vote for approval.
It's on, and I gotta do the other. You're on. It was a cheap fix. No fire department tonight?
Nope.
Okay, everything's on.
Welcome to the October 23rd, 2023 trustee meeting. And we'll stand for the pledge and a short devotion. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You bow your heads. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for the wonderful weather we're having right now. We pray that you be with our employees, keep them safe, give them wisdom. Pray you be with the Varian family and help them through their trials. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
It better warm up tomorrow,
It's gonna get
or
warmer.
I'm gonna take the job as a weatherman.
Yeah, really.
So with that, have you had a chance to review the agenda? Any changes?
I just have something that won't take me long to sue coast. I don't know where you want it, new business, wherever.
On the survey?
No, something
Okay.
else about the property.
We'll stick it in old business.
The Sucrose?
Yeah, Sucrose.
And I've got one thing for fire, but it'll be fast.
Okay, have you checked the minutes out? Any questions?
Trustee Varian moved to approve the minutes as presented.
Trustee Puro seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have you had a chance to review the treasurer's report? Is there any questions?
Trustee Puro moves to accept it as presented.
Trustee Varian second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have nobody here for public speaks. So we're going to move on to the fire report. Mr. Varian?
All right, fire report. Both chief and assistant chief cannot be here tonight. I did speak to the chief yesterday on a couple things. Pretty simple before you call run there. Nothing else on the agenda. The one thing that I have that I wanted to bring up, this is something we've talked about, and Chief Parker and I are going to carve out some time in November to talk about this, but our goal is to start to put together kind of a skeleton budget for the things that are spent in the fire department. So, things like general tank testing, hose testing, pump testing, all the monitor evaluations, a lot of the things that we have to spend money on. And we'd like to see a 3-year forecast. So I'll be getting with the fiscal officer and asking for 3 years of expenditures in the past so that we can start to lay out kind of a skeleton budget. And really just so that we can kind of know what's coming, so that we can kind of hang on to the budget. When we sit down, we can say, hey, this year we do these things. Year 2, we do these things. Year 3, we do these things. Then we re-up again. Obviously, the things that come down the pike that we don't know about, we're not going to know about. But there's a lot of things the fire department spends that it's every year. And we know it's coming. And to us, it's a surprise. So as trustees, I'd like for us to have a little more of a kind of a budget for that. So Chief Parker and I are going to sit down and start working through that. And so in November here, so we want to kind of have something to present to everybody by the reorg meeting. That's our plan. And really nothing that we're going to present. It's just kind of like I said, this is kind of the skeleton budget. And then I think only other thing for fire is on your agenda would be approval for the second quarter, $750 for Marks Radio. Is that actually paid out to Marks? Is that the vendor's Marks?
Yeah.
Do we have the funds to do that?
Yes.
All right, Trustee Varian moves to pay Marks $750 for the second quarter for the radio fees.
Trustee Puro seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have for fire.
Perfect. Cemetery report.
I don't have anything. Ryan did turn in a bill for open and closing of a cremation at Mapleton, but other than that, that was it.
Okay. Move on to the road report, Superintendent Unkefer.
The trustees that have read over the road report, is there anything you'd like to ask?
Did we start
Okay,
sweeping
moving right
stone out?
along.
It's new guy started today, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
No, I said, did we start sweeping up stone yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Are we
tomorrow's
getting,
our last day.
okay, are we getting much?
Oh, yeah, the pile's getting bigger up there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And I've had people come out their doors and run out there saying thank you, for
Oh, good.
sweeping that up because they've been
Good.
complaining about the dust and everything.
Yeah, good.
So, yeah, it looks really good.
Good.
The truck they've been using, the second truck actually at Canton, is doing a much better job than the first truck.
Okay.
After the first couple hours that first morning, so, yeah.
So does it look like the stone is settled in good then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yes, it does.
So we had enough heat?
Yeah, it was fine.
The culvert on Elmbrook, is that the one I talked to you about?
Yeah, I think so, yes, yes.
Is it bad? Good?
Gales, what? It was, yes, the whole bottom was rotted out. It was an old galvanized.
The one in Clapper's Drive, or the one that go up into,
Oh, wait, say which road again?
I don't know what road that is down there, I can't remember. The one I talked to you about, that where Clapper's access to their fields. That we were talking about, you were gonna check to see if it was clogged or crushed or down from Chris Vincent's.
Oh, yes, I looked at it. It's a big, heavy oil well casing. It's
But
like
the culvert.
12 or 15. It does not look like it's, no, it didn't crush. No, and I talked to Clappers. They said I could go up in there and divert a 45-degree angle there across the driveway to stop all that water coming off that hill down that, and both
Right.
wheel tracks just putting mud and everything out on that road.
Oh, so you're gonna divert it?
So we're gonna go down there, maybe even later this week, take a couple scoops out of there on both sides of it, which it really isn't, there's not mud or anything up into the pipes.
You just
But
can't handle the
I'm
load.
gonna try to get down in there and look, but if I have to, I'm gonna try to get the fire truck to go out this week with us. Cause I got one up on Elmbrook that I wanna blow out, and I'd like to try to blow that, just blow through it, and make sure anything would be in there, just pushed out.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, you talked to them then?
Yes, I didn't talk to Chris, but I did talk
I mean, you
to Mike
talked.
Clapper about that, and they said that was fine. Do whatever we thought we needed to do to get that water, keep it from going out on the road like that. He tries to divert it up at the top.
Yeah, but there's a lot of hill there,
Yes,
and it's straight down.
it's steep. So
So, alright, well, you got it under work.
we'll try to check on that later this week here. And
Stu, I see Thursday you put up signs on 17th, and then by Monday we were calling the sheriff.
yes,
Okay.
just to make sure.
How'd that all?
It all went fine from what we got from the sheriff. When Deputy Brown called me back, him and Deputy Rayburn went out there together.
Okay.
And they talked to Big Mike, and he moved it back off, and they've seen where his property pin was. He moved all his stuff back behind there. And,
I talked to Big Mike also.
yes, he talked to him also. So
Explained to him all.
seems like everything's been staying off on both sides.
So far, so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should be good now.
yes.
Great.
Beeling got rid of his camper, got it out of there. He
Okay.
moved all his vehicles back behind his property
Okay.
pins, and
That's great. That's good news.
Right. It's both sides of the road, no parking on either
No
side.
parking.
Yeah, you can't do one and the other. Yep. Okay.
so,
All right, perfect.
put the no outlets on.
Anything
nothing that you-
outside of the road right away, it's not our problem.
It's not our problem.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's true. That's
As long as
true.
they stay back so we can maintain and, work on the road and plow the road open. That's all that.
So did you get any quotes on that mini home?
I have,
We're gonna
but
wait, we're gonna.
we have to look at them though. We gotta go through them.
Okay.
I haven't had time. I got them
Are
late
these
Friday.
used or new?
Huh?
I don't know, I just got the file order.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
revisit it here.
I just got it late Friday, got them all back.
Okay,
I wanted to wait till I had them all.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
All right, anything else for Road?
Got no money to spend? Hurry up.
I got nothing.
Okay, moving on, zoning report. Inspector Brocker.
Since last meeting, didn't have any permits or anything like that issued. Over on the nuisance side, the property over on Sindel, I talked to the person that is renting it. He is aware that there are complaints, regarding vehicles and stuff, and he's trying to clean out the garage so that some of them can be put inside, and then he's gonna try and clean up some other stuff, that way he can remove them out the way. Over on Broadway with the junk vehicles, the prosecutors reached out to me last week with a couple more questions, so they're trying to figure out a couple more things before I get back. And then the one over on Ravenna without the building, talked to the prosecutor's office, they're gonna send another letter. We cannot put permit fees on their taxes, according to the prosecutor's office. So that's where that's at right now. Other than that, not much change. For the commission, they approved to send their mobile home language, which is, I got copies.
Oh, great.
To the trustees for your guys' hearing and decision.
I got a call on this from somebody on regional planning. Mr. Vincent, one of you should reach out to him,
To who?
Vincent, call?
Mr. Chris Vincent.
I'll call him.
He was gonna try and come to, well, it should be somebody that's in play, either Mary or,
Yeah.
I didn't wanna get into it, cause I don't know enough about it, so I said, well, he was gonna come tonight, I said, come to the meeting and talk to us.
Yeah, because this went to regional planning,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he's seen it, because he's still pretty in there.
and regional planning sent
He's
back
still
their
active.
suggestions and then approved it.
He's still active there. He
Wow,
would have
but-
seen this.
and what he told me, that might change if somebody doesn't reach out, they want some changes.
They already said what they wanted. Regional planning finished their process.
I'm not arguing.
No, don't you have that, Mary, from regional planning?
Yeah, I got it in my other folder.
Yeah,
I didn't have any of this, so I didn't want to get into about it, because I
Yeah.
didn't know what I was arguing about.
and then regional planning recommended we send it to the prosecutor, which we also did. And the prosecutor approved it. He made a couple changes.
Yeah, mostly with wording.
Yeah, but they took all the changes that came back from both places. So he's probably just getting it behind the,
Well, he told me he was the tiebreaker vote. And he didn't like it, but there needed to be some changes or the vote could be changed. That's what I was told. So,
if they've already approved it, I don't know how they can unapprove it, but
I don't know if you
I'll give
can.
him a
Our
call.
hearing for this is next meeting, though, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
next
so
time.
we've got a little time before we.
I'll give him a call and ask him what he's concerned about.
yeah, I was hoping he would come tonight because then he could
Ask.
voice his concern, because I really didn't want to, I didn't know what to,
You didn't know what the statutes were.
right, I didn't
Yeah.
want to.
Well, he would. He should.
I
know.
said I knew about it. I knew we had a hearing coming up. I told him the hearing was on the 13th, I think, of November. And I said, other than that, I said, you need to come to the meeting and talk about it.
Okay.
So I'm just letting you know.
So do we need to discuss this at all? Or we
I
don't do
don't
this
think so. I mean,
until,
regional planning already approved it, prosecutor approved
I
it.
mean, outside of that, do we need to discuss it before next week? Or next
If
meeting?
you have any questions, you can give it to Mary.
Okay,
If you look at it, that's why she's giving it to you ahead of time.
great.
And, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it.
As a fiscal officer, when I read that, that's just basically allowing someone to put a temporary or a mobile home up and why they're planning on
Mhm.
building.
Yeah.
What happens
Well, they have
after,
to own the ground.
but what happens after the dwelling is up? Does the mobile home go out of there?
It does
Yeah.
within,
Yeah.
Is
3
that,
months.
is that
Yeah.
when it says 3 months or 6, is that what it
Setting
says?
up 3 months after occupancy of permanent dwelling.
So what's the rule, like, is there anything that I'm missing there that if somebody runs into problems and it goes on for 2, 3, 4 years, building this project, or is that something they gotta come back each year?
It's, can be reviewed each year.
Each year,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it requires an inspection each year
Mhm.
until the project's complete.
And that might be all that he needs to satisfy, that I didn't know, and I didn't want to, that's why.
Yeah. Do you want to call him or do you want me to call him? I mean, I'm happy to call him, but I don't want to take that away from you.
If you want to call him, that's fine.
Okay, I'll call him.
Just for a point of clarification, the Stark County Building Department Foundation, will they approve stacked blocks or does it have to be an actual foundation?
I'm not sure
Okay,
what they approve.
Yeah, we
Or the
weren't
foundation.
sure what they require, but
Okay.
they do that inspection.
got it.
But we
So I was
don't know
gonna say
what they
for a
require.
short-term modular or a mobile home, you're not gonna put a
Mm-hmm.
foundation in. It's gonna cost you so much as the
Yeah.
building's gonna cost.
Yeah.
You know, for
Well, a foundation
And you're
could
gonna
just
tear
be
it
a
out.
building.
yeah, a foundation could just be stacked blocks.
Well,
But,
or I think it has to be down in the ground though.
okay,
They have to put cement in the
they've
ground.
gotta have like a footer
Yeah,
for the block.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
I just didn't know if it was actual basement,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah,
or,
but I don't know what their rules are now.
okay, got it. Okay. Good,
We just verified that they still do
they
that
just
inspection.
got it.
So any suggestions, give them to Mary.
Okay.
And then we got a letter from Donna Offenier saying she would like to be a part of the zoning commission.
Oh, great.
She had actually attended their last meeting to watch.
Oh, good.
I was hoping she would consider the BZA, but she wants to go on the commission.
Okay.
So
Would
if,
would she be an alternate or would she be a placeholder?
she's an alternate.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I'll make a motion that we approve Donna Offenier as an alternate to the zoning commission.
Trustee Varian second.
All in favor?
Aye.
When is your next meeting though, Mary?
16th.
I don't think they're meeting.
They decided not to meet until next year because this is kind of their last big project and they're kind of through on it for their part.
So probably for January in their reorganization meeting. So she wouldn't be meeting for a while.
Again, they made the motion tonight, though. What we would like to do is give her paperwork and stuff, so it's all ready to go.
That's great. She wants to be involved.
So we still need at least a couple on the BZA.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mary?
The Board of Zoning Appeals has a meeting next month for lots, but just make a few corrections so the house would be allowed. They want to split a property so they can have a house on the backside.
So that's what the hearing's for? Okay. All right, any other questions on zoning? All right, we're gonna move on. Old Township business. That would be your Sucos.
Okay. I ran into the farmers that are farming that. They did tell me they've seen some flags, so the surveyors must be working on it. That's not mine, but they would like, they'd like to do a rotation on it, but they don't want to put a bunch of money into it without a little bit of a few-year lease. I told them that we would talked about a cross-country track around it. They have no issues with that or working. They were very willing to work together, but they want to get into a rotation of hay, which I think would be in our favor. But they've got to invest some money and they don't want to do it on a term that they might just get thrown out.
Right. Would they be willing to not, how much is planted on the little parcel by the building? Did they
Yeah.
plant that?
They're negotiable for
Okay.
everything.
I mean,
I think it's more the big piece.
right,
and the
in my
back.
opinion, if we could give them some clarity on the big piece and still be able to put a track around it, and then we can spend time putting in a sign, putting in a driveway, putting in a parking lot.
Right, we need to
That's
get into
actually-
parking lots.
That's not, I mean, that's gonna take a couple years.
Plus
So I-
right back in hay
I-
would keep it from eroding.
Well,
I'd
once
say-
it gets into hay, they could pretty well run the perimeter of it. We don't
Yeah.
have to do anything.
Right.
I mean, in my opinion, you probably could say to the big chunk, the big square, we're not doing anything in there for 3 years in the core of it,
Right.
in my opinion. You
Well,
can
I-
still do
I-
track around it, you can still do your sign and start messing with the building and, and maybe tell them the little parcel right up there by the building, you can keep planting that. We just might come to you and be like, hey, we're gonna put a parking lot in on a portion of it.
Right, well, we definitely, the first thing we need to do is get another driveway in so that we're not on that easement driveway.
Yeah.
Which would be,
They might have another avenue into it from the back. I don't know. I don't know.
The farmer, you mean?
no, I'm saying for the
No, I know, I
township,
understand.
Oh,
we
for the
need to
town,
get
yeah.
off,
There's a check at the back of that.
we need to get off of the.
Like I
their
said,
easement.
anywhere up there in the front, we got culvert clear up there almost to our property line. So all we gotta do is cut the sod out
Right.
Yep,
and.
yeah.
it'll
I
be
think
quick
that's
and
fair
easy.
that they're asking, we don't want to put investment in this property if you're gonna tell us in 6 months we're out. I think that's a fair comment.
Right.
I wouldn't want to say any more than 2 years though, because once we start on it, the project can move pretty fast. And I actually even hate to do that because I think it may limit our ability for the grant possibly, but if we're just doing the grant for the parking lot and the front piece,
Mhm.
as long as we can keep that front part there, because that's where that
That's
parking
where
lot
your-
would go.
Action's gonna happen first.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I think 2 years I would be happy with, but
Do
3's kind of long.
do they communicate with the bank or us on that?
The bank, they asked the bank and the bank said that's not, I haven't talked to Phil, but they said,
Okay.
it wasn't his decision of
Okay.
some sort.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, Randy, is I don't know who they are, but we had lots of people inquiring to do that. And there was an interest in, some of the farmers were people that are right there, because we have a couple 100 feet to get over to, what's that street that dead ends right there?
At the,
Was it Worley?
Whirly,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's whirly.
And one of the farmer that had that on each side, 2 different farmers, which wasn't the farmer that has the property. And so the question is, if we want to try to get that right away there for a driveway, what are we going to have to do that?
I think it was the property owner that agreed to that right away. I think that's all, I don't remember who owns that, but they're the ones that was in the interest of connecting that.
Yeah, he was the guy that owns the one towards 44, was one of the guys.
But I don't think they're the.
They're
actual
not the farm.
Right.
Well, he has the farm ground.
They own it, but I
Yeah.
don't, well, they can do whatever they want with their ground.
Right. So that's my only concern is,
These guys don't care what we do. He said, we'll work with you on whatever. I mean,
But they just
there's
don't. they just don't want-
there's no way you're gonna develop all that in 3 years.
No.
Oh, gosh.
but he's not, I don't think he's using, I don't know who the farmer's farming it now, but I don't think the guy
It's the
that owns
Holman
that
brothers.
who,
The Holman brothers, they're close.
the guy
Down
that,
on Georgetown Road there?
Yeah.
the guy that owns that property, I don't think they're farming his property.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know that either.
So
So,
I'll get with them and get some more information. what
yeah,
they
I just
wanna
think
do.
we need more
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. I think-
But
I
I
think
think
there's
it
a
would
good
work in our,
possibility.
it would be good.
Oh,
enough.
I agree.
They said even if you got 50 acres, even if you took 25 of it over the next 3 years, they would just be responsible for whatever they're farming.
Right.
It's better than it's sitting and growing up.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Right. Oh, I
If they get it into
Oh,
hay,
yeah,
it
keep
would
it
really
farm,
be
keep
good.
it down, keep
Because
it,
the
yeah.
cross-country team could run it.
No, and actually the
Randy.
environmentalists said they need to keep farming it.
To the east of that is Buck Williams,
Bill Buck.
or Bill Buck, okay? And then, I'm looking where that right of way you were talking, if it was through Worley
Yeah,
there. I pulled that up there, right? This area, I think you're talking about Worley,
it
and
goes to about where that dot is, right in there.
right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who owns
This-
that rectangle?
Well, that was the
This guy-
Neschwitz family for a long time.
That guy is what, Jerry Wessler lives
Wessler.
here.
because that was the Nietzsche's house that went back and made that curve back to that
And
house.
then this one is,
That's the big parcel.
that's Mideast Trucking is right here. This one right beside Worley as you go back.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Worley's still there.
Mid-Easton's way back there, yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like there's like a road or something there, might be in there along this property.
That was a proposed road. It's not going clear through. It's supposed to go to Broadway and it doesn't.
What is that, is our chunk?
I was gonna say, is our chunk the left chunk or the right
Here's
chunk?
our chunk.
Who's the right?
Over here,
Yeah,
that's the, Bill.
okay, yep,
Yeah.
Louisville, okay.
The, that all the way to
See
the
how far where
trees?
the driveway goes?
Yeah,
In, like halfway across that piece right there?
yeah.
There's a right of way there for Worley, but it dead ends there then.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
driveway
I remember
too.
him talking about it.
Both those driveways are shared and they split off right there. And there's a driveway that goes to the right behind the houses right there where your arrow is. There's a driveway right behind those houses that goes to that farm.
I see that little right-of-way thing there. I don't know what that is. Coming down along the back side of that.
Well, let's see what they
That's,
want.
that's
Yeah.
our piece, or that's the Succo's piece to the left there?
Yeah, see the
That-
Suco.
That
here's the
is
Suco.
there, or this over here? Which
No,
one?
where his cursor's to the right. That one, that's Succo's.
That's the
Okay.
Succo's.
And that little jet, see that little jet? At the
Yeah,
very bottom of it? That must have been some sort of right of way at one point. Right down there, yep.
That's a right-of-way of
Yeah,
something.
there's a right of way of
right
some
there.
nature, but that's taxable land.
I don't know if that's coming
Well,
down
see where the
there.
cars
Yeah.
are parking there? There was a proposed road there that was supposed to go clear to Broadway.
I'd say talk to the farmers and see what they're interested in.
But I do think that we need to keep doing something like that with
right.
it. But
I'll gather some more information.
yeah, that front piece, we want to keep I think.
Yeah,
from
they
the-
don't
yeah.
have a problem.
Within a year, we should have a parking lot in there. So, okay.
Yeah, there's a little tilt area.
How about the survey then? Because they were supposed to stake that,
I don't know what they've done. They told me they were gonna do it.
but they were supposed to stake it so that you could see the marker to marker.
I haven't been back there. I don't, maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but they said something about there was a ribbon somewhere, and I said, well, it could, I said, they're gonna survey it. I said, I could be part of it. I don't know if they've done anything, nothing. I have not
Well,
talked.
they've been there. I talked to the one neighbor and they said they seen some, but not a lot. So maybe they didn't finish it. I don't know.
Yeah, they told me they would get going on it, and that was the last I talked to them.
Okay. Well, I guess our next step is to put up a sign so that was our first requirement. We need to go ahead and purchase a sign and get it put up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as far as it goes, we don't have to have it on a driveway. We can just put it like out. in
Yeah, I was
front.
gonna say, you could buy it, build it, put it in. If you even have to move it later, you
Well, if you did something
Put
along with
something,
that
yeah.
field.
Get it in the ground.
and-
Future,
Yeah.
future site of.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And
Yeah,
what type of sign are we talking about?
Vinyl.
Like we did for the cemeteries and stuff, so it's.
Well, that's the one that did our cemeteries. I mean, it could be something simple, a two-sided sign that you could.
At least
put
for
up.
now, until you,
Yeah.
if you get the whole thing developed, want to really put something up there nice.
Yeah, but
where
you can get them vinyl signs for
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
reasonably.
later on,
Those
there's all
signs in the
kinds of
cemetery,
events happen.
the
You
signs
put
in
them
the
in, you gotta put
cemetery
4 by
were
4
around
vinyl.
$500. They're one-sided, but you could get probably for $1,000, you could probably get a two-sided, or if you just want it one-sided.
I think two-sided is worth it.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
want it to sit like that.
Yeah, you're gonna have both.
Can you get a price on that?
traffics.
And it would say future site of Succo's Park, managed by Osnaburg Township trustees.
You write down what you want and then give it to us and we'll go from there.
And the same as like the signs that we've been using everywhere else.
I
Wanna
think,
make
I
sure
think
it's big
getting,
enough.
I think getting a sign in is good because it gets us moving too.
We better get moving on it because it'll be
It's
getting
gonna be,
really cold
yeah, you're
out
gonna
there.
have frozen ground.
Frozen ground and be digging.
Okay. Anything else on that?
That's all I got.
All right, new township business. We have to do a resolution for the
That's-
amounts and rates. as determined by the Budget Commission. Fiscal Officer.
Yeah, every year at this time, usually before the end of October, it's a resolution accepting amounts and rates that were determined by the Budget Commission and authorize the necessity tax levies and certify them. Were certified them by the county auditor. These rates they're saying on January 1st is the new rates. And give you an example, the fire fund, it was at a 3 mil, now it's at a 4.3 mil. And that estimated revenue is $507,415. It was, for example, $318,686. So there's where your new levy kicks in. That money starts coming in right after March, April time. Usually you'll start getting some of that there, but all the rest of them are the same. They're up a little bit. The millage is the same, but each one of them went up. For example, the road levy last year was $295,000. Now it's $300,000 generated on 3 mil. But altogether, our millage now goes to 7.3. But what you're approving, I'm asking for approval, is the Budget Commission will approve, and you do a roll call vote to approve these millages of total of 7.3. And then I put it together, sign off, and then I send that to them with all the yes votes with a resolution number.
Anybody have any questions on that?
Nope.
There's also a green sheet that I get. That's what I do, temporary appropriations. I prepare for you all to look at either at the end of December or it has to be done through December because that's how we operate the township the first 3 months of the year.
So what do you want, just a resolution to accept it as presented?
Yes. You're accepting the summary amounts required by the general property tax. You're doing the resolution accepting the amounts and rates determined by the Budget Commission. It isn't by me, it's by the Budget Commission.
Trustee Puro, so moved.
Roll call.
Varian,
Yes.
Puro,
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, I don't see anything else on my agenda. Does anybody have anything else?
Fiscal Officer Larry, is this something we need to talk about or sign or do?
That
Or-
sign?
I think that's pretty good.
That's just your information.
That's
If
just a
you'll-
log sheet for.
Yeah,
Columbus.
if you,
Thanks.
for November, I know, or I'm sorry, because the opening of Ohio Township for next year starts on November 1st.
Mhm.
If you're going, that was a document you may need, if you would like to have that.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I just went ahead and prepared.
No,
it.
that's great. Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn and pay bills.
So moved.
All in favor?
Trustee
Oh, I need a second.
Puro, seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
Awesome.
That'll be a cheap babysitting night.
I know, right? She's gonna be excited. She can go home.
Oh, are we all?
No.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm curious. Last time we talked, because we haven't.